Hi, my name is Queen Morgana and welcome back to The Sims 4 Ultimate Decades Challenge. This is year 1387 and we're here in the lawless lands of Oasis Springs to actually start off by aging up Agnes, who I forgot to age up in the previous episode. Oops. Well, we're here now and I asked if y'all would like to see her aged up on camera or for me to do it off camera and show what happened in the machinima. And on camera was the vote. So we're going to do her young adult roll right now. So we want to avoid numbers 2, 6, 11, 13, and 14. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it and roll. Hopefully she survived because she kind of got a taste of young adulthood already. And she got a 10. What numbers am I avoiding? 2, 6, 11, 13, 14. Oh, she survived. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I actually thought she was gonna die. I thought I was fully prepared to lose Agnes at this exact moment, but thank God she actually didn't die. So yay. I don't have to bother aging her up because she's already a young adult, so don't have to do much. So I think the trait she got was lazy, which is very surprising because she was never lazy before, but I think now that she's not really responsible for anyone but herself, she's finally allowed herself to kind of relax and take a backseat because she's not looking after Stephen. She doesn't have to worry about looking after her mom or any children. She's not married. She literally just gets to do whatever she wants, whenever she wants. And, you know, of course she still works and everything, but I feel like she's in pretty high demand here in the lawless land. So she doesn't have to work too hard, especially with the aid of her magic. So I think she's just gotten, I don't feel like she's completely lazy, but I do feel like she's kind of mellowed out a little bit, right? So I actually like that for her. Look at her. She's pretty hostile right now. She's actually going to head off to work, so I'm going to just let her go. And I don't know, she's enjoying her dry desert life. I think I should give her a little bit of makeover. I'll do it off screen because we don't really get to see her for real. So now that she's actually, I kind of need her to come back actually. But now that she is a young adult, I am actually going to relinquish my control. You can go back to work at any other time. Now that she's a young adult, I'm actually going to relinquish my control over her in this household. And whatever she gets up to as like an NPC non-controlled household member is out of my hands. I'm going to make her infertile, but just like with all of my other side households, whether or not they go off track and get pregnant and do whatever they want to off screen under my control, they have free will to do so even if I make them infertile. I won't add whatever children they have that I don't roll for onto the family tree. Though considering Agnes doesn't like have any children, maybe I will. We'll see. We'll see if or when that happens, if she gets married or if she has children when I'm not controlling her. But I am going to take a moment to make her infertile and mark her to not get married. But once again, sometimes between my mod and the actual game settings, they override each other. So we'll see. Okay, we're back in our regular household and everyone's just eating breakfast. Stephen has gone off to work. Lucia made some carrot pudding for everyone to eat for now. And these two are talking, having a grand old time while they all enjoy their carrot pudding. And everything's just pretty chill. It's a cloudy day in the middle of the summer and I'm gonna have someone come up here to sell these wares and probably Lucia while Annabelle works and tends the garden some more. You have quite a few fruits and everything. Maybe make some more, I almost call it these nectars. These are not nectars. What are these? Like beer. Make some more mead. There we go. Make some more mead at some point. And yeah, that's all I have. But for right now, they're having a grand time talking. Let's keep the conversations appropriate, you two. They haven't done anything, even after all these years. They know how they know they have this pool, but they've managed to keep everything strictly in-law, you know, mother and daughter-in-law as it should be. But I'm hoping that it doesn't go any further than that, to be completely honest. So Stephen might be like Grandma Alice and just have a breeding kink or something because he also wants to try for a baby with Lucia. Granted, Lucia also wanted to try recently. I don't know what's going on. Moments peace from Tucking and Toddler. That's kind of funny. I don't know what's going on and why these two want to expand so badly, but I don't know. Like, I don't even I don't have an idea at all. But they can try because Edith actually ages up into a child this episode, and like I don't know how quick the cut's gonna be. So for me, it's gonna be like 10 minutes, but for y'all, it might be in like 5 seconds. But Edith will age up, or at least we're gonna roll for Edith in just a few seconds. So we'll see. But now that Edith is gonna be a child, which means her younger brother, the middle one, whose name I'm forgetting for some reason, Lawrence, now that Edith's going to be a child and Lawrence will be soon afterwards, I do feel a lot more comfortable having those two, I guess, multiply more, I suppose. Oh, and here goes Lucia to go get kidnapped by aliens. Okay, well, if it wasn't you, it's probably going to be Annabelle, huh? Alright, have fun investigating the weird light. Bye, have fun. See you in a few hours. Alright. Okay, well, when I talked shit about Lucia, it wasn't an invitation for you to go off and do the same thing, Stephen. Are y'all, like, having a party in space or something? What's going on? Is there an event I don't know about quite yet? What's the game? What's the game plan here? Okay. Here he goes. See you in the morning. Bye. Alright, there's only 3 adults in this household, so I guess Annabelle, by default, you've gotta stay here on Earth while your kids party it up, I guess. I just realized that Stephen and Annabelle have the mommy's boy relationship bit, and I think that that's really freaking funny. He is a mama's boy. It's the next morning and everyone is already up getting some food as we wait for Edith to get up. Well, I think she just woke up. Okay, she's gonna use the potty and get herself something to eat just in case this is her final meal. Her eyes changed colors once more, or was it already that orange? I can't remember if it was orange or a different color, but we're gonna see what her final eye color is when she's a child. You know, hoping she makes it that far. But let's see. Oh, those two are trying for a baby. Let's give them some privacy. Oh Lord, I can hear them through the walls. But everyone's just gonna come and chill and all that. I'm waiting on those two to finish what they gotta do. So Edith can eat, and then we're going to roll and see if she ages up into a child. And I'm really hoping she does, because there's so many really cool kids in the village I'd love for her to meet in the next few years. I'll celebrate Edith's party by throwing a birthday party. We won't be throwing a birthday party, but her mom did make some pigeon stew, which we rarely have, so I assume that to be like the special birthday meal that they're gonna share. Grandma Annabelle is out here doing the laundry. I finally caved in and got the like medieval laundry stuff, so it won't look like jeans and t-shirts out there, supposedly. I hope so. Alright, so Edith has officially finished eating, so we're gonna take a moment, take one last little look at Edith. I'm in the worst angle, Jesus. Take one last little look at Edith before we roll to age her up. So, for children, we want to avoid numbers 9 and 19. I'm rolling, and she got a 3. Oh, I thought there was gonna be a 9 on the dot. So, Edith survives to be a child. This is exciting. Okay, let's see. Set age, child. Happy birthday, Edith. You're now 6, I believe. Time is flying. It's somehow simultaneously going by extremely quick, yet not quick enough. I think I'm gonna get rid of that loom because it takes so long to build the skill. Not gonna lie. Or maybe I'll save it for the creatives in the future. Right now we're winemakers, but maybe there's someone who wants to sit down and stitch and loom in the future. Who knows? But she's got so many little brothers. She's got to have that oldest sister syndrome. Oldest sister syndrome. Oh, I cannot say oldest sister syndrome back to back, apparently. Hopefully it doesn't turn out the way Agnes was, but let's see. Rolling, she's hostile. What did I just say? Hostile, impatient, and a recycle disciple. I'm gonna get rid of Recycle Disciple. I'm not gonna choose something else because it would change these two. But when she ages up into a teen, it'll automatically fill in anyway, so it's okay. So But she's hostile. These Sims are always full of anger, so very much like Aunt Agnes. Agnes didn't start become hostile till she was a teen, though, I think. And she's impatient, so these Sims hate waiting and get easily frustrated when things aren't moving quickly enough. They tend to rush through activities, sometimes sacrificing quality for speed. So she's almost like a mini Stephen, like the girl version of Stephen when he was this age, at least with his impatience. Well, Stephen was more like lazy, like not by default, but because he had so many women doing things for him, right? Like he had his grandma was doing everything, then his mom, and then they were putting pressure on Agnes to pick up his slack. But I can imagine her being somewhat impatient like him. So I guess she turned out a bit like her aunt and like her father, and like the worst parts of them. She got the worst part of Agnes and the worst part of Stephen, which is interesting, Edith. So let's see. Impatient. I'll give her motor. I feel like she just likes to just go straight through things. She's not one to think things through. Whatever gets her there the fastest is the best. So she probably won't be very good at like making things. Like she probably won't be good at doing things that require time and patience, like the nectar making. She'll probably hate gardening because you definitely need patience for all that planting and waiting on things to grow so you can harvest it at a good time. She probably won't like cross stitching. Like she won't like anything that takes time to do. So she'll probably be looking for things that'll, you know, give that serotonin boost quick and easy. This is really interesting. I wonder if that'll leak into her like friendships and relationships. But let me go ahead. Okay, rude. Let me go ahead and give this little cutie a makeover and we'll see what she looks like. All right, this is Edith, who is super cute. She has these bright orange eyes. So like from afar, you can't really tell, but then you look at her face, you're like, what is this glowing around her eye section? And it is her eye. So she's got these pupilless, big, bright orange eyes, which I think make her look super cool, but we'll see how the other villagers may feel. Like I said, I think Edith and Lawrence might have a little bit of an easier time. Maybe even, which one are you? Warren. But David's gonna struggle for sure. So yeah, I'm excited. She's really cute. We're gonna be spending the next few episodes. I might wait a little bit because there's a specific family I want her to try to befriend and they don't age up into children until I think next year or something like that. But maybe I'll do it in intervals if we have some time to go see who is available in the village. But this also means that Stephen, I would say Stephen and Lucia, maybe both of them, maybe one, are definitely going to be scouting out some of the potential, you know, of age boys, hopefully of age, Jesus, in their village to see if they can secure some form of marriage proposal for Edith with any of the young boys who will grow into young men in the village, especially those from prominent families. They're not really going to be looking towards the peasant families, so we're going to have to be keeping an eye out. I have a couple who I think we might meet sometime this episode. If not, then, you know, in the following episodes, especially once Edith makes it to her teen years and everything. But for now, she's just a girl in the world playing in the pond with death. Oh my God. Is this a bad omen or a good one? I don't, you know, you can do a lot of things in this world. You can do whatever you want in this life. Would y'all want to play in the pond with death? Is this how y'all want to spend your free time? They're like in sync too. Death is having a great time and Edith does not care. Well, she hasn't really been around Death, to be fair. All the elders in her family are so scared. Did you realize he got caught? Yeah, it's really weird to play in a pond with a little girl, Death. That's really weird. But, don't know what type of omen that was. Hopefully she don't grow up to have the same taste as her mama. Her mama might be soulmates with Lucia, but she's had the hots for Death since they first came across each other, I suppose. Oh, look at Annabelle being a good grandma. Oh, this is so adorable. Look at her. Aw. You know, sometimes when the family isn't being crazy and weird, they are really, really cute. They do have super cute moments together. Okay. You know what? It's a very calm day on the farm. I think instead of making a mess on our floor, you should go and actually visit some of the earlier children. We can space out who she meets, right? We can meet one batch now and then another batch later. So let's see who we can meet now throughout the village. There's a couple, and especially some who she has her eyes on. So, first and foremost, let's see. I think now that Stephen is a maestro, he definitely wants her to kind of focus on securing, social connections with those who have money. They don't necessarily have to be nobility or anything like that. But just someone who has money, even if it's something as simple as owning a large farm. They don't necessarily have to be from the Lord's family or anything like that, because they know that they themselves, though they are secretly one of the richest families in the village, the rest of the village doesn't quite know of that, though they know with Stephen's new position, as the maestro for the Lord's family, he will probably have to start kind of showing where some of that wealth is going soon. But let's start with some of the more well-off but prominent families. These are all peasants up here for the most part. Yeah, these are all peasants. Y'all are peasants. So we have the Freedmans, the Humphreys, the Cruises, and technically the Woods. Actually, I think the Woodsons are still too closely connected. I think they'll show up as cousins on the family tree. But she can still make friends with them. We're not necessarily looking for potential spouses at this exact moment, but we'll save her cousins for last because we can meet them at any time. So we have the Freedmans. All of the boys are older than her by a little bit, some of them by a lot. So they'll probably be married off and teenagers soon. But some of them are somewhat closer in age than Ivo's son. Well, his son is probably around the age of her youngest brother, so I'm not sure if that'll work out. But his eldest daughter just aged up, so they could be friends. And then the Cruz family, who is the current Lord's family, they have a son. Actually, yeah, let's go see the Cruzes so I can explain. And this is actually the little boy who Stephen is wanting her to connect with most, because he wants her to, become familiar with the family. They become familiar with her so that when he starts sliding in his recommendations of marriage in the future, they'll kind of already have an idea of who she is, what she looks like. And then as Stephen gains seniority with his job, they can kind of vouch for him. So this is the Cruz family. We haven't really visited them in a while, but if you remember, this guy right here, Nelson Cruz, was related to, I can't remember if he was the son or the nephew or the uncle of the previous lord, because their family tree kind of became a wreath at some point, but he was related to the previous lord's family. I don't remember I don't know if y'all remember, but he was actually one of the potential suitors for Amis back in the day, that first round of suitors. And him and a witch or spellcaster named Santos actually ended up falling in love with each other while they were playing to win the hand of Amis. So Amis went home loveless with no marriage that year, and he actually fell in love with the love of his life, Santos. Now, Santos, the spellcaster, actually somewhat recently passed away. I want to say maybe 2 or 3 years ago. It was a while back, but recently in my head, it's actually been a few years now. But between his husband passing away, his family, who he happened to move out of before they were killed during the Peasants' Revolt, as well as his werewolf extended family all dying, everything, like the village went to him, essentially. Now, he has no werewolf blood. The werewolf extended family was just that, an extended family. I think the werewolf gene was for him through marriage, so he doesn't have that gene at all. Him and Santos adopted 2 girls, if you recall. It was these 2 who Amis also tried to befriend, and it really wasn't working. This redhead girl, I think, is one of Albreda's close friends, if I'm not mistaken. But his daughters are all grown up now. They're teenagers heading into their young adulthood. And he adopted the children that were left behind from his a direct family when they all died from the Peasants' Revolt, including these ladies and these children. Well, one of these kids, his daughter had out of wedlock, but that's kind of like a need to know basis secret that's kept. So I personally feel like he's a bit more of a lenient lord. I think because of Jesus, my camera. Okay. I think he's a bit more of a lenient lord, right? Because he knows that werewolves exist, right? He knows magic exists and everything like that. He knows that the protectors and the people who were kind of running the village were mostly werewolves. In fact, there's still like I think 2 or 3 werewolves in the village. The children of the werewolves who were killed are all grown up now. I think they're still in the village. But I think he's being pretty cautious about what type of occult being seen through the village, especially because this is still somewhat soon to the Peasants' Revolt and all the occults that the king was aware of being executed. So I think he's just going to try to buy his time. But considering he was a gay man married to a witch, I don't think he is super uptight about these things, right? He's a gay man who was married to a gay witch and they adopted daughters and a bunch of other people. So I think he's rather open-minded, but he's going to be very picky when it comes to those who I'm going to say aren't human passing, right? So he doesn't mind if you're a werewolf or a witch or anything like that. Is, you know, he thinks love is love, clearly, because he himself had an unconventional relationship that could have led to his and his husband's deaths for multiple different reasons. If not for them being gay, then definitely for him being a witch or his husband being a witch. But he's going to be very cautious about the dangers that, you know, not physically appearing human, even if you aren't, could bring, right? He doesn't care what you are. He knows that just because you're a werewolf or a witch doesn't mean that you're not peaceful, right? He's come across plenty of kind werewolves and witches just trying to get by, just like anyone else, right? The village hasn't really seen mermaids or vampires or anything like that. I think most people are still extremely scared of vampires. Their reputation around this time period is ghastly for good reason. Most vampires around this time period are murderous and very dangerous, but witches aren't necessarily dangerous, the same with werewolves, and he can vouch for that himself personally. And it's not too deep of a secret that something's going on with the Smith family, but they haven't really been in any controversies in the past few generations, so I don't think, you know, I think his family's kind of turned a blind eye to them and really didn't care. So, yeah, he'll mostly be picky about physical appearance, so the more human passing, I think the safer you are, where he can feel safe vouching for you. Because even if he personally knows you and someone comes to contact with him and he feels that he himself or his family is in danger, he's going to throw you under the bus or throw you under the carriage in this time period, I suppose, in order to protect himself and his family. So maybe when it comes to this family in particular, we should really only try to advocate for the more human passing children, right? So I know David doesn't match that description at all, but I wonder what would pass in his standards. Because so far, none of our children have human passing eyes, except for one of them, but he has antenna sticking out of his head, you know? So I wonder how he feels about little, I almost called her Sybil, Jesus Christ, you are not Sybil. I wonder how he feels about little Edith coming around. So let's be respectful to the Lord Nelson. Yep. Be respectful, introduce yourself to him. And we're actually here because Stephen wants her to get to know this little boy. I actually don't remember his name. What's your name? Augustine, Sir Augustine. He is actually directly related to, I want to say he's one of Nelson's little cousins or nephews, something like that. But someone in Nelson's family had a child out of wedlock with a fae. And this fae had silver colored hair and passed it down. And I know this bloodline, we haven't come across them because they're mostly in Wittenberg, though they have spread out recently. But I can always tell the descendants of this specific bloodline in my save file because they all end up getting this silver hair and it's natural. Like I don't touch them at all. I just give them makeovers when I come across them. And they all, or at least all the boys, the girls kind of end up fine or like with human colored hair, quote unquote. but the fae of that family, the male fae of this family in particular, always end up with silver hair. And Augustine is no exception. So when his mother birthed him and I went into the household, it was very clear which family he hailed from. Now, this family doesn't have magic in particular or anything like that, as far as I'm aware. Like I said, I've never played with them. I've only given them makeovers, so I don't know what secrets they might hold, but I do know that they have pretty direct and, pretty direct fae bloodline that's easily detectable by this silver hair color, which is probably another reason Augustine's like, I don't care if you look different, but as long as you're passing, right? Like Sir Augustine, the silver hair is difficult to explain, but I feel like you could say, oh, my son got into the nanny's dyes and did this to his hair or something like that to an outsider, right? Or something like that. But it's more difficult to explain different eyes and skin color and antenna. So does that mean that Edith, pupilless, bright orange eyes match his standards? I think that she's passing enough for it to match, or at least with Augustine. This other girl, this other boy's a little too young, and I think this is a boy as well. Yeah, these two boys are a little too young. I didn't give them makeovers. I never give the toddlers makeovers because we never come across toddlers in the game for real. But she's going to introduce herself to Sir Cash. I think I already said that. Okay, that says chat with Sir Augustine. But yeah. So he hails from a fallen family, barely being held together by, I think this is his uncle. Once again, the family relation for Nelson's family is a little bit confusing. Oh, they got along. Oh, look at how far up their friendliness bar got up. They got along really perfectly right now. I'm trying to get y'all at a good angle. Can we... let's see. Let's get to know him. Let's see if we can find out one of his traits real quick. Good to know. Oh, the stairs are making everything so difficult. He's a music lover. Okay. There's 2 more traits we can learn from him, but I can't do that type of stuff back to back. But these 2 are getting along so well already. Oh my god. Let's talk about siblings. I think one of these little toddlers is his little brother or something like that. And my go-to as always, you gotta cloud gaze. It might be a bit too early to tell, but I think that these two would make a pretty good couple. I actually like this so far. I'm rooting for them. You know what? This is my favorite ship so far. I know this is her first person she's really met in the village. I don't mind her meeting people with, just the intent of being friends and all that. I'm obviously going to have her go out and just make regular friends, but in terms of potential suitors, this is the one who Stephen has his eye on, and this is the family he works for. This is the Lord's family who he's the maestro for, so we'll probably be seeing a lot more of of Lord Nelson. And okay, she wants to befriend Lord Nelson. Actually, we could do that right now. We'll be seeing a lot more of Lord Nelson and Sir Augustine around quite a bit. All right, and they are officially friends now. So she's gone out and made it quite a good impression on the village Lord Nelson and his son Augustine. They've become quick friends. And I'm really glad that she made a friend this quickly. She's actually going to head home because she has to pee. But I'm really proud of her for making a friend this quickly. And I'm sure Stephen will be elated to know that she made such a good impression with the Lord and his son, especially considering that that's the son who he's had his sights on for her to marry. So I don't know. It's looking like this might be something that goes through unless something crazy happens. But Stephen's most likely going to use this win as a way, as a nice little bridge to tie the knot with Nelson and, say how well the kids get along and everything like that. But he's not going to push it. He's not going to rush into it. He's going to, unlike his daughter, show some patience and restraint when it comes to securing this marriage. Because if she marries who essentially will probably be the next Lord, because Lord Nelson, they never adopted any sons. And that's the closest blood male relation he has. So actually, yeah, Sir Augustine is the next Lord. If he could secure a marriage between someone in the Smith family with the Lord's family, that would secure the family's bloodline financially, socially, and offer a pretty nice safety net, especially if they continue to have such unique physical appearances, and can kind of shift the politics of the village for a little bit. So yeah, Stephen has quite a bit to think about and quite a bit to secure, but I'm sure he won't mind. In fact, Edith, how about you tell him about your day, you know? Tell him what you've been up to today. I'm gonna say ask you about day, but she's really telling him about her day. Letting her know, oh yeah, hey dad, I spent my birthday out I met some people in the village. I met the Lord Nelson like he asked me to. You know, Sir Augustine is super. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. So this pretty much proves that Stephen does fully support Edith in pursuing this. There we go. I love when the game actually goes with my story instead of against it. So their new family dynamic is supportive. So Stephen's definitely going to be supporting her in this endeavor to befriend, right? Obviously, Edith is 6. She's just thinking she made a really nice friend, and it's really cool to look up to the person who runs the village and kind of have him like you and all that, right? So she's just happy that she got to meet someone new and meet a friend and have, you know, such good social interactions, right? And Stephen's already like, oh, this is fantastic. So let's see, new family dynamic supportive. Some older Sims have a knack for providing reassurance and emotional support for their younger family members. The older Sims serve as a good role model, sharing their many life experiences to help guide the younger Sims through life. Recently, it seems like Edith and Stephen have this type of relationship. When family members have a supportive family dynamic, both Sims will actively provide affections and compliments to each other. The older Sim will actively seek to console or cheer up the younger Sim, and the younger Sim feels comfortable venting complaints or asking for help a bit more. Yes, especially with her hostile nature, I think he would try to be there to soothe her so she doesn't do anything drastic that would ruin her reputation and thus potentially ruin the possibility of her getting with the Lord's family. So she needs to be on her best behavior and have like pretty good status and reputation in the village just with the regular villagers to make this work. So he has to make sure that she really keeps her temper in check and has a pretty good reputation. So because she's so, I'm not going to say time sensitive, but because she's so like lazy about her time and the quality of work she produces, he probably won't have her front and center manning the table like how Agnes had to do, or making some of the products. He's probably going to delegate her to something similar what he was doing, where he's just doing basic chores and all that. But you know what? Having her learn the skills of a future lordess would probably be best, right? So she should probably focus on charisma, you know, schmoozing with others, getting people to like her, overlook her strange physical appearance, quote unquote. You know, stitching, stuff like that, cooking, things like that. So I think instead of focusing on like farm household activities, like the people in the generation have been doing, she's going to help out, you know, little chores, maybe milk the cow, feed the chickens here and there. But he's mostly going to make sure she knows how to do things like loom or cross stitch and eventually cooking once she's a teen. So this is really exciting. I honestly wasn't expecting this at all. So I'm going to have her just head out. So he's going to support her and personally guide her to help her with this emotional regulation and keeping her temper in check and everything. So he already places quite a bit of weight on Lawrence as the heir for now, but I can imagine him putting a lot of pressure on Edith in these upcoming years to just be perfect. So it's almost like Agnes, but in a different direction, right? Where Agnes had to be perfect to take care of Stephen and the household and all that. She has to be perfect because as far as Stephen's aware, her potential marriage in the future that he hasn't even secured yet. So, but he's thinking ahead, but the possibility of her marrying the future lord of the village could save the family. So, oh my gosh, you're as he's matured, he's definitely turning into a lot more the mindset of his grandfather Amir and great-grandmother Mary, right? That's something Mary, Alice, and Amir would have done. or marry in her later years. Hey, Annabelle, yeah, do whatever you want. I don't care. And we'll probably have Edith meet some of the other kids later, but everything went so well with Augustine today, so we're fine to stop fine to stop there for now. Here we are back in the lawless lands, this time with Albreda, because it's actually her twins' birthday. It's Isolda and Attwell's birthday, so they're aging up into toddlers, hopefully. So we're just gonna go ahead and roll the dice for these guys. So let's just get started. We have no reason to stall. So Isolda is the firstborn, so we'll start with her. Oh geez, she's aging up into a toddler, so you want to avoid numbers 4, 8, and 12. And she got a 11. Oh my god, I thought it was about to be a 12. And let's roll for her alien brother Attwell, who got a 12. No! Oh no. Okay, we lost the boy, but we didn't lose Isolda, unfortunately. So, sorry, not unfortunately we did lose Isolda, but it's unfortunate that we lost one of the children. So, we'll just go ahead and age them up. Oh, I'm sorry, Isolda. It's so common for my multiples to lose their sibling. I always feel so bad about it. And then you can come age up Attwell. I wanted them both to grow up together. This is sad. I actually wasn't expecting them to... I honestly thought if I was going to lose someone today, I thought it was going to be Agnes, but not one of the infants. Isolda is wild and fussy. Okay. And we're going to age up Attwell, but he is going to be passing away for one reason or another. We'll say the heat, maybe. Maybe he had, like, heat stroke. He had a tail in his alien form? Aw. Okay. Silly and language savant. Okay. Goodbye, Attwell. This is the last we'll be seeing of you. Who the fuck started playing a sad-ass violin when my baby's body was taken? Wendy? Oh my... Oh, wait. Wendy grew up. I need to give her a makeover. This is, Laura's daughter. Wendy, that was a fucked move. You're lucky I don't kill you. Anyways, let me give little Isolda a makeover real quick. And here is little Isolda. She is absolutely adorable. I can't tell which parent she looks more or less like. She looks so different from both of them. Neither one of... I mean, Albreda has, like, tan skin, but Isolda has much darker skin, and then she's got this red hair. No clue where the red hair came from. And these dark brown eyes, which I assume come from Albreda, but Albreda has hazel eyes, and Harold has green eyes, so I'm not quite sure. But either way, she's super cute, and I'm still really sad that her twin brother passed away, but such is the life of a medieval family. All right, we're back in the main household. It is our summer harvest, so we're going to get that started. And Lucy is pregnant again. I don't know why she's always so tense about it between her and Stephen. Clearly they want this, even though they hate the children. So everyone's just going to come get something to eat. But yeah, you see this hostility that you're showing right now? You can't show that around the Lord's son. Okay, you pulled yourself together. I think Stephen is a big help in helping her keep grounded and focused, so... Oh, this could either end beautifully or disastrously, I don't know. Also, I never realized how much these two look alike until I put them right next to each other. Why are you over here trying to talk to the kid you don't like? Are you just yelling at her? Jesus Christ. Oh, Stephen has really enjoyed spending family time with... Recently, he's specifically spending family time with Edith. And it's become very important to him. Would he like to embrace the change to become family-oriented? I think this is less family-oriented in the same way that some of his predecessors might have been, where they solely love their children and just want to spend their time raising them. I think now that Edith is old enough and he has more on the way, and the toddlers he's got already, he's seeing them as opportunities. And the more time he spends molding these opportunities, the more they'll pay off in the future, right? Sow a seed and, you know, reap the benefits of it in the future. So the more he plays good father, as opposed to his, you know, wife's reluctant motherhood, as much as he doesn't really want kids, He sees that it's easier to not control them, and I don't necessarily mean trick them, but it's easier to have things go his way if everyone's happy. And if that means spending a little bit more extra time with them, hearing what they have to say to plan things well in accordance to his children's, you know, personalities as well as all the outside forces, then yes, he's going to be spending a lot more time with his kids, getting to know them and teaching them to kind of follow his guidance for the future, especially as the man of the house and all that. So yeah, I can see him being family oriented in that way. Okay, everybody can't get kidnapped in the same night. Stephen just got took, but Annabelle just got back from being took. Are we like taking turns now? Here's a face we haven't seen in a while. We are here in Willow Creek with Denise, of all people. And that's because we are here to age up Katherine and David, her two eldest. We still have Madison left to age up, but Madison doesn't age up for... What? Is this Madison? The next episode. Or 2 episodes, I think. Yeah, so we have a little bit more time with Denise being a side household, but for now, we're aging up her 2 eldest children, this red-eyed Katherine and her alien son, David. They're both aging up as teens, so we will be doing their teen roles for them. Jesus, words are eluding me right now. But let's just roll. So for teenagers, we want to avoid the number 7. I guess I'll roll for Katherine first. And rolling, she got a 14, so she survives. And David got a number 9. So both David and Katherine survive, meaning the only loss we had from a birthday roll this episode was little Attwell. But let's get these 2 aged up and made over. Katherine, congratulations, you're about to be a woman. You're a woman now. Well, kind of, mostly. It's 1387, you're most likely a woman, mostly a woman. All right, come age up. Don't go swimming, just age up. Just spin in a circle. Come on, jump and spin. Jump and spin, you can do it. There we go. Let's see, she was mean and talentless. Now she is an occult enthusiast and captivating. Oh, interesting. Oh, I like that hairstyle she got too. Let's see. Maybe she's like a bit of a serial romantic. She doesn't mean to break their hearts, but she is mean, so it just kind of happens. People just fall for her. She's just that girl.
Oh, no.
I love this hairstyle, but it's not going to be something she keeps. As for her brother David, let's age him up as well. There we go. David was slow to warm up, well-balanced, and an introvert, and he is also silly. Okay, so I'm not sure... he seems pretty introverted, but he does have a humorous side to him. I don't know what he wants to do, to be honest. Maybe he likes to spend time reading and being on his own, so we'll say academic, maybe. I mean, his dad's rich, so maybe he's got access to a few different contacts to pursue some different things. But let's give these guys a makeover real quick. And here is Katherine, who is not so little anymore, and she looks absolutely dangerous with these red eyes, like a like a blonde bombshell, but like will kill you, like a femme fatale. It's I don't know if she's mean enough for murder, but the eyes are certainly a dangerous look for sure. But I really like her. Hopefully, I don't know, I don't plan when my side household sims grow up and they look cool for them to come back because I really like them. But I do think it's really, really cool. And I really hope that at some point or another, some of the genes from my side household families, if not they themselves, come back into the family some way or another. You know what? Since the end of the century is nearing, I'll probably do something closer to the 1400s where I'll ask y'all your favorite side household characters that are still alive at that time. So, and which ones y'all would like to see me move a bit closer to Hemford on Bagley or somehow introduced to the family. I think that'd be fun. It'd give us a way to kind of bring some people back if we can. We'll see if I even do that. But if so, y'all let me know. Would y'all be interested in doing something similar to that? Just so we have a chance to see like Ada's little girl who had that really unique coloring before she left her with Thelka, or, you know, people like Katherine, or even some of Agnes's kids, because we're really close to not having her as an official side household anymore and me letting go of the control over that household. But y'all let me know. Would y'all be interested in having the opportunity to kind of choose which Smiths y'all want to see more of? If not like move into the village, just kind of implements it a bit more into the story, you know? But this is her, and she's super cute. I love her so much. I really only did 3 outfits, so this is them. And she is a she's not an alien, though she has these eyes, which is, I say, is a sign of alien genes mixed with magic genes. But she's more of a spellcaster than an alien, though. And here is David. I dressed him in a way you wouldn't commonly see people dressed who go around town in this time period. I assume because he's so introverted and has this unique sense because he's an alien. I actually don't know. I didn't check see if he had magic or not, but you know, because he's born of an alien and a spellcaster and he's pretty into his studies, I'd imagine he really likes to study the arcane and the occult and things like that. So he doesn't actually find himself wrapped up in the regular affairs of humans very often. I think he doesn't mind, you know, the household and all that going to his little brother, his little half brother that came from his father's actual wife, right? I think they all get along well. He doesn't even want that responsibility. So he dresses a way that's comfortable for him while he's on his travels and everything. So he mostly wanders around, travels, and learns, so he doesn't necessarily go with the, you know, standard quo of fashion for, you know, young men of his age who are searching for a wife and all that. So we'll see what becomes of him in the future. I'm not relinquishing control of this household quite yet anyways, because we still have to wait on his little sister to grow up, which will probably be in the next 2 episodes, I think. So, but he's super handsome. Honestly, Denise and I forgot her baby daddy's name, but Denise and her both made some really, really cute kids together. So I'm really excited to see what Madison looks like all grown up. And then I think that'll probably be around the same time, if not a little bit before, I also released control over Amisa's household. And then our only side household for a while will be Albreda. Just to see if she and what's his name roll to have more kids. But I'm not letting go of control of her household. Well, I let go of control of Agnes's when she was a young adult. So maybe I'll hold on to Albreda till she's an actual adult. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how Albreda's story goes, because I didn't roll for her pregnancies. I'm just kind of going with the flow with her. So I think I'll give her a bit more time to be a side household, just in case she rolls more woohoo/pregnancy wants and all that, because her pregnancy was unwanted technically. But look at how cute these guys are. I like her. First off, I didn't realize I gave them kind of matching outfits a bit, but I love that her eyes match the bright red of her brother's hair. Let me check real quick. Do you have magic? Oh, he doesn't. He's literally just an alien. He's not even a hybrid like his cousins. I think he's distant cousins or second cousins with, let me see. Amir is your grandfather. And Amir is Stephen's grandfather as well. Okay, so you're okay, yeah, like your second cousins, like Stephen and I don't even know anymore, but he's not a hybrid like Stephen and his siblings, like his cousins or their children and all that. So we'll see. I also don't know if Albreda's kids or kid now is a hybrid either. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I think with that all said and done, because I've been recording for quite a while now, but with that all said and done, I think I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know if y'all want to see more of these side household characters weaved into this future storylines, you know, and which ones, I guess, or even if you want to vote on that a little later on, the closer we get to the 1400s, because that century is riddled with a lot of battles and wars. So it'll be interesting where the Smiths and their stories go, but let's worry about that when the time gets there. But Thank you all so much for watching again, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.